Milton Keynes. People seems to be confused about this place. Plenty of YouTube videos paint it as the most miserable, unlivable and un-British city in the UK, filled with crime, gang violence and lack of culture. Some even go as far as creating conspiracy theories about it. But why?
Hold on a second and listen to me, guys. Most of these people have probably never actually lived in Milton Keynes, and this is where my story comes in. So I've been living in the city for almost a year now, and during this time I've gained first-hand experience. Unlike many YouTubers who base their opinion on Google searches or maybe a single visit, I actually lived here.
Thanks to my job, I had a chance to travel across the UK. I've covered nearly all of England, from Hastings to Leeds, from Gloucester to Norwich, and I had a chance to explore countless cities and towns. And I can confidently say that Milton Keynes is not what you think it is. Let me introduce this controversial city to you from a perspective of someone who actually calls it home.
Never seen anywhere like it. Central Milton Keynes. Never been anywhere like it. Central Milton Keynes.
Come shopping at Central Milton Keynes, where your favorite...
Chapter 1. Does commuting really suck here? To really understand this city, we need to go back in time. Milton Keynes was founded in 1967 as part of the UK government's New Towns initiative, designed to ease overcrowding in London and provide housing for hundreds of thousands of people. Unlike older towns that developed organically over centuries, Milton Keynes was built with modern transportation in mind. By the late 1960s, car ownership was becoming a common thing in the UK, so naturally, Milton Keynes was designed to prioritize driving over walking or public transport. This American-style grid-based road system is a major source of criticism today, as urban planning has shifted towards sustainable and pedestrian-friendly alternatives.
As always, there's a but. Milton Keynes has actually one of the best traffic flow systems in the UK. It features pedestrian and cyclist overpasses and underpasses that connects the central Milton Keynes area, or CMK for short, with the residential areas, allowing for smoother commutes. Many critics claim living near these roads means constant noise from the high-speed traffic, but let me tell you, I only live around 100 meters away from the main road and it's almost completely silent at night.
Well, unless of course your local 21-year-old Carl decides to treat his Honda Civic like it's an F1 car at 2 AM. Don't be like Kyle. You get the idea? Driving in Milton Keynes is also far smoother than in other UK cities. Yes, there's some congestion during rush hour, especially near shopping areas or the M1 motorway, but overall it's far less painful than navigating traffic through Southampton or London. And parking, you might ask, abundant. Unlike older towns that struggle with modern car ownership, Milton Keynes was designed for 21st century commuting, making parking much easier than in most UK cities. If you drive, Milton Keynes is great. If you rely on public transport, commuting can be more challenging. However, it's not true that cycling isn't an option. Even these small delivery robots can navigate the city, so why couldn't you? Chapter 2. There's no culture here. A common criticism of Milton Keynes is that it lacks historic architecture and culture. But let's be real, guys, the city center isn't exactly pretty, I gotta admit. That glass pyramid building, aka The Point, looks outdated and uninspiring. But here's the thing, Milton Keynes wasn't built to look like London or Oxford. It was designed for modern living standards and comfort, not medieval aesthetics. With that said, there are some historic sites worth mentioning, such as the Bletchley Park, which is famous for its World War II core-breaking center. This is where Alan Turing also worked. Or St. Mary Church in Bletchley, a historic church dating back to the 12th century. And yeah, that's pretty much it for its historic buildings. But instead of crumbling buildings, you'll find houses that live up to 21st century living standards. What Milton Keynes lacks in historical architecture, it makes up for in green spaces. Unlike many UK towns, where houses are cramped together right next to roads, Milton Keynes separates residential areas from industrial zones and major roads with parks, trees and lakes. Unlike in London, where many green spaces are privately owned, or come with expensive memberships, parks in Milton Keynes are 100% free and accessible to everyone. Take Willen Lake for example. Yes, I know that there's a parking fee, but the park itself is completely free of charge. The city also tries to make each park unique. For example, the Pyramid of Light, which is a glowing pyramid sculpture, the Tree Cathedral, a park shaped like a cathedral when viewed from above. So, while it may not have century-old castles, Milton Keynes offering something different. A city built for open spaces and nature. I know it's not Oxford or Edinburgh, but it's one of the greenest cities in the UK. Chapter 3: Housing, Gangs and Crime.
I live in one of the less affluent areas of Milton Keynes, and so far I had zero issues with crime, whereas in Bedford I had my driver's side window smashed and my catalytic converter stolen in 2 different occasions. My friend's brand new bicycle has been stolen just under 5 minutes, and the police didn't even bother to do anything at all.
Some YouTube videos showcase violent teenage gangs and crime hotspots, but here's the truth, most of these incidents happened 15 to 20 years ago. Nowadays there's no visible signs of gang activity, there's no graffiti tagging territories, no gang-related violence whatsoever. Is there a crime, you might ask? Of course, but no more than in any other UK city. Now let's talk about housing. One major advantage Milton Keynes has over other UK towns is that most of its housing stock was built in the 20th and 21st century. Compare this to cities like London, where many people still live in 100-year-old-plus Victorian houses that often lack modern installation and conveniences. Not to speak about the narrow design, just try bring a new sofa through the front door. Just to give you an estimate, thanks to the modern construction of houses in Milton Keynes, the average family consumes 6.4% less electricity and 16.2% less gas compared to other parts of the UK. Well, at least according to ChatGPT. When I lived in Bedford, finding parking near my house was a daily struggle. In Milton Keynes, not a problem. The city was designed with cars in mind, so most houses have driveways or nearby parking spots. Instead of fighting against car culture, Milton Keynes embraced it, making car ownership a no-brainer. And let's be real guys, who actually enjoys riding a bicycle in freezing and windy and rainy weather? Exactly, nobody. Chapter 4: The perfect location. Now, let's talk about the real deal. As we discussed earlier, Milton Keynes was designed as a commuter town with cars in mind. So how far are the nearby towns and cities if you are driving? Towcester, 22 to 29 minutes. Northampton, 25 to 30 minutes. Buckingham, 22 minutes. Silverstone, 26 minutes. Bedford, 30 minutes. Dunstable, 26 to 30 minutes. Luton, 32 to 36 minutes. Aylesbury, 33 minutes. Wellingborough, 34 to 37 minutes. And the list goes on. Look at these times guys, it's clear that Milton Keynes is in the perfect spot. Most places are reachable in roughly 30 minutes of driving, not including all the small villages in between. And in the worst case scenario, we might ask, you can even reach central London in about 1.5 hours if you're driving. But honestly, after listing everything the city has to offer, why the hell would you even bother to go there? Chapter 5: Entertainment. Needless to say, Milton Keynes has plenty to offer beyond the giant Midsummer Place shopping mall. If you are looking for a good time, here are just a few of the top spots. Theme parks and family attractions. Gulliver's Land Theme Park Resort, family-friendly amusement park. Gulliver's Dinosaur and Farm Park, dinosaurs, farm animals and adventure trails. Indoor adventures and sports, snow zone, indoor skiing and snowboarding. Volcano Falls mini golf, iFly indoor skydiving, all 3 locations to be found in Escape. Rock Hub, an indoor rock climbing center for all skill levels. Safari MK, a soft play and party venue for kids. Arts and entertainment, Milton Keynes Theatre, hosting musicals, plays and comedy shows. MK Gallery, contemporary art exhibition and cultural events. Sports and outdoor spaces, Stadium MK, home to the MK Dons and a venue for major events. And one of my favorite is the Japanese Garden. This peaceful green space is functioning as an active Buddhist temple inspired by traditional Japanese design. Whether you're into thrill-seeking culture or sports, there's always something to do in Milton Keynes. Chapter 6. What will the future look like for MK? You might have heard about the East-West Rail, a major rail project that will connect Oxford, Milton Keynes and Cambridge. Since Milton Keynes sits right in the middle, it will be naturally included in the route. Now, you might be wondering, what's the significance of this rail line? In short, the government aims to develop Oxford-Cambridge Arc into a UK version of Silicon Valley, creating thousands of new jobs in sectors like technology, research and manufacturing. For me, that's a compelling reason to plan my future in this city. Fun fact, the population of Milton Keynes is projected to grow to 410,000 by 2050, up from the current 292,200 as of 2022, a 30% increase. So, if you are a landlord investing in the area, that could be a smart move. As for me, I can definitely see my future in the city. How about you? Share it down below the comment section. So with that said, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.